Hi, welcome everybody. We're just going to give just about 30 seconds or so just to get all the attendees in the room here before we kick things off. So just hang tight and we'll be starting here in a few seconds. All right, so it looks like we got some of our attendees are peeling into the room here now. So I'll just get started with the introduction and the housekeeping before we get into the meat and potatoes here. This is Cody Cochran with MBSI Wave. Thanks again for joining everybody today. So MBSI Wave, we're very proud to present, this is our second session along with Cambium Networks as a part of our Hat Trick series. A little bit of a hockey spin now that we're into the playoffs. Today's session is going to focus on cnVision, reliable wireless CCTV that just works. MBSI Wave, we are a proud stocking distributor of the entire Cambium Networks portfolio, including cnVision. Just some quick housekeeping notes here. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded to all of our social media outlets shortly after we are done here today. Feel free to check out our YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. To find the recording. If you have any questions or comments as we're moving along, please feel free to drop them in the chat window. We will be addressing those questions at the end of the webinar. If we run out of time to take all the questions before our session time is over, we will make sure to personally reach out and address any questions, comments that we might not be able to get to today. If that chat window does not open automatically, there is an icon with the chat logo there at the bottom of the platform there. Please pay attention during our session here today. We will be asking a skill testing question at the end of the session. The first person to answer correctly will win a $100 NHL gift shop gift card. To be eligible for the giveaway, you have to be a resident of Canada, so you can get some of your favorite team swag. So here at MBSI Wave, again, we're very excited for the cnVision platform as a whole. Obviously, Cambium in the fixed wireless space, they have been doing video surveillance applications with their platform for years. It's really great to see them making a product that's specifically targeted to the CCTV market. We're going to get to see what the differences are between, cnVision versus a, just a more traditional fixed Wi-Fi kind of application. Keep in mind that here at MBSI Wave, we can help with the planning, network design, post and pre-sale support on every piece of a wireless network, including cnVision. So today, presenting on behalf of Cambium Networks, we have Sakid and Chinmay, a couple of gentlemen who primarily focus on the cnVision platform, and they always put on a very entertaining and informative presentation. So with that, keeping the hockey theme alive, I'm going to do a line change over to you, Sakid, Chinmay, and I'll let you guys take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Cody. Thanks for the great and informative introduction. Could have had you do the webinar yourself, actually. Anyway, so thank you for the opportunity to both MBSI Wave, and thank you for everyone who joined. Can't promise this will be entertaining, but I certainly promise this will be full of information. First and foremost, my name is Sakid Ahmed. I run the business for cnVision at Cambium, based out of the Chicago area, and Chinmay Keskar, who is our systems engineer, who's also based out of the Chicago area. We're going to tag team this a little bit. I'll go through the good old boring PowerPoint slides a little bit and maybe add some color to some of the topics, and then hand it over for a live demonstration of the cnVision product. Specifically, we're going to highlight the product user interface, how that's been simplified to cater to the security industry, and then two of our highlighted features, which is video management system integration and camera integration with OnViv clients and things like that. But I'll go over some additional items along the way. A little bit of background is always important. In case you're not familiar with Cambium, long story short, we used to be part of Motorola Solutions, became a company out of Motorola, spun out in 2011. As recent as 2019 July, we became public as CMBM and NASDAQ, and you know, the independent nature of the company continues. Our forte, as Cody mentioned, has always been in wireless. Our Canopy platform, along with ePMP platform, has been a rock solid platform for a lot of the WISP industry, the wireless service provider industry. And our technology at the radio level, at the software level that enables that packet transfer in all sorts of interference environment and things like that is really sought after in the industry and has proven its resilience over time. So that product line, the fundamental point to multi-point, point-to-point product line, as you can see in these images, is being used in video camera backhaul in outdoor environment. However, this product line, as well as these typical projects, require quite a bit of hand-holding. There's complexity around radio frequency planning. There's parameters and things like that that are very much geared toward the service provider industry. So you have to have a certain level of knowledge and understanding to use this. And these products are really unique to WISP industry, and it happens to be used in certain cases for video surveillance backhaul. So the question became, well, if there's a lot more cameras are deployed out there, and with the pandemic and whatnot, that certainly seems to be starting to wake up again with you know, social distancing applications, temperature detection, things like that. Cameras are going to be out there more, and needless to say, safety and security in the cities and whatnot is also heavy on people's minds. So with that in mind, we asked ourselves, could we take the proprietary nature, the resiliency that we built into our software and hardware, and could we build a platform that would be purpose-built for CCTV, and what that would look like and what that would mean? For us, the fundamental goal was simplicity. Video backhaul needs are not miles and kilometers. They're usually in feet and meters, short distance across the parking lot. It's scenarios where the trenching of cable or fiber or availability of fiber is a deterrent, and an integrator is looking for an easy option to connect the cameras and backhaul them. In a lot of cases, power is not necessarily a big challenge. It's typically the Ethernet or the backhaul. So with that in mind, simplicity became one of our #1 focuses, that we need to make the product offering simple in the hardware that you need to understand, the software that you need to interface with, the amount of planning you need to do, simplify that, limit that. And last but not least, present the wireless solution as part of the CCTV network. Not make it a distinct platform that you have to manage via different management platform and really run it as a uniquely separate set of hardware, but rather, how do I make cnVision become closer to the video world? I will come back to this a little later. This is just some deployment scenarios. But I want to highlight this as well. Whether the audience on this call are very familiar with wireless, I'm hoping that as the webinar gets recorded, it will reach additional folks. But fundamentally, there is a very strong story on using wireless for video camera backhaul. And that story is simply economics. The act of digging up the trenches and running fiber, getting permits, whatnot, is cost prohibitive, it's challenging. Sure, if you have dark fiber that you can just light up, the problem solved. But in many cases, in urban environments and semi-urban environments, that is not the situation. So wireless makes a lot of sense in a deployment like that. Having said that, I would say in the last 15, 20 years, there's been you know, a pushback, or let's say a stigma that has kind of stuck around in this industry, which is, look, is wireless just Wi-Fi? Is it just going to be hacked? Is my supercritical security video footage is going to be interrupted because somebody's going to interfere? So those questions come to people's mind very often when choosing wireless. So that confidence level you want to achieve using wireless for your critical video backhaul is not easily obtained. And that's kind of where we come in, because we are telling you that we are taking what works really well for our service provider industry in globally in different types of environments, and taking that under the hood technology, wrapping it up in a way that it becomes easy, and then making that wireless a de facto standard for video backhaul. So with that in mind, I want to highlight something that's important is as you think about wireless, if your mind gravitates towards Wi-Fi being the equivalent of wireless solutions, then that's where we would be very wrong. In things like cnVision, the under the hood technology where we make things very deterministic versus in Wi-Fi, which is contention based, meaning you're really looking for clean air and you're backing off. All of that is extremely detrimental to getting that reliable video traffic. So a predictable performance based on determinism is absolutely paramount to make video transition work. And people will talk about meshing technologies, companies that have tried, municipalities covering it with mesh. All of that is essentially just I would say a routing algorithm, but in reality, the radio portion of it is still simple Wi-Fi. Ranges are great here. Things like channel switching in Wi-Fi to avoid interference versus where we actually implement things that look more like a car transmission. It adapts the gears as the environment changes, the whole time ensuring that those frames coming from your cameras are delivered. So it's all about minimizing that frame loss. Quality of service, bandwidth allocation are other couple of things. And as we move to the bottom of this table, the two really neat things that we want to demo today is that our backhaul systems, our wireless systems in cnVision also have something called an OnVIF client integration, which allows us to discover cameras, replay a feed from a camera, and essentially make it part of or integrate it better to the video system and give you additional points of troubleshooting. Last but not least, we also integrate with leading edge video management systems. And today, Chinmay's demo is going to go ahead and show you how the cnVision platform can send alarms to Milestone's X-Protect video management system. And we'll also show you all the other systems that we support. But sending alarms, sending stats makes that backhaul smarter and much more integrated with your video system. A little bit on the portfolio overview, which falls in line with my simplicity statement. We kept the SKU count simple. The amount of hardware we offer very simple. You really have 5 pieces of hardware. The very first 2 on the left-hand side are what you would call your hub / access point / base station, your center of the universe in terms of gathering the data. The FlexR is a flexible piece, meaning you can attach different types of antennas to get different gain and beam width, as well as use of sophisticated stuff like GPS sync, which in most cases you will not use, but it's available if you want to. The Hub 360 would give you a omnidirectional coverage, very easy deployment in a car dealership or a place like that where maybe you're back up against a building and you're really looking for 120-degree coverage or more. You plug one of these guys, you don't really have to do much alignment and finding the antenna's best beam width. The Micro Mini MaxStar represent 3 different clients. As the name suggests, they tend to go from super short distance to moderate distance to longer distances. The Micro and the Mini, you'll also notice, is in slightly different color. That has to do with the fact that they can also be configured via software to operate as a hub. So if you wanted to build a system with just a Mini as a hub and additional Minis as clients, you're able to do that. This is probably also a good time to highlight that none of these products have any type of software licensing, encryption licensing, or any type of limits. What you see is what you get. You pay for the hardware, you get the software, and full support and full capabilities on that initial purchase. To showcase a little bit of the deployment, if you're not super familiar, is that you've got the FlexR attached with some third-party antennas. A company called RF Elements makes these nice horn antennas that tend to provide multiple options for different degrees of coverage. And on the other side, you simply connect a client with the PoE switch, cameras, and the radio itself can connect to the switch with the enclosure. And bingo, all your data from those cameras are getting transmitted up to the hub. Similarly, a 90/120 degree coverage would extend that coverage. And then, as I was mentioning, the Hub 360 on the left-hand side being able to provide coverage in a 360-degree area, while the micro used as a hub can also provide 30-degree coverage and allow you to connect other clients with cameras attached below them. So many different deployment options and configurations, and quite easy to navigate. You can obviously also do point-to-point, pretty simple. You can do up to 1 mile, 4 miles, and 8 miles, depending on the micro, mini, or Maxar that you choose. Each of them have its own characteristics, but it's more or less limited by the antenna that's in them, and that is represented by the physical size of these devices as well. Last but not least, in November-December timeframe, we're also going to be introducing this MaxRP product, which will be a PoE out option, giving you the ability to connect your camera or another client right to the device itself. So you'll get Ethernet bridging and PoE function out of that device, simplifying the install. And to be honest, this doesn't need to be limited just to video surveillance situations. You can certainly see going into things like a PoE-enabled LoRa gateway to get into a smart city application. So having this power option, having the radio built in, sort of creates a very powerful platform or a hub up on a pole, giving you power and switching abilities and eliminate multiple pieces of hardware. Needless to say, this will also be managed by our cnMaestro platform and some VMS integration. So if you needed to flip a port and say reboot the system, you could be doing that remotely. And again, that would help you possibly power cycle a problematic camera or a client for that matter. With that, that's sort of the hardware overview. I do want to highlight a couple of other things before we get into the demo. First and foremost, Cody talked about MBSI Wave support for planning and whatnot. Cambium plays a very strong role in that space as well. We'll provide that initial planning support. If you have a project, you need a little guidance, we'll be happy to do that. We have 24/7 post-sale support, as well as 3-year hardware warranty. So whatever you buy is covered under a 3-year warranty period. So which both of those bring quite a bit of value as compared to, let's say, a very low-cost solution, more or less Wi-Fi based, that seems to populate the market quite a bit. Last but not least, we're also offering some free technical certification courses, one of them being a wireless video surveillance certification, which kind of goes through the basics of wireless technology, camera highlights, networking, and then wraps it all up under the cnVision umbrella. So if you were not comfortable deploying wireless, this is a great course to take and not just certify yourself, but truly learn some key concepts and key use cases that would help you build your confidence in deploying video cameras with wireless as a backhaul. With that, we are going to shift over to Chinmay. As I mentioned today, the goal is, as Chinmay prepares to share his screen, the goal today is 3 or 4 things. We'll start off by showing you a little bit of the user interface, the dashboard, the information that's available, and then we're going to go into a little bit of the OnVIF demonstration, and then jump onto the video management system. So with that, Chinmay, I will let you go ahead and take over and walk us through the demo. And also, sorry, last but not least, we do have a companion tool that helps you do some planning for camera parameters, and I'll speak to that when Chinmay is ready to demo that.
Hey, just Cody here, just jumping in. We did get a question. I'm not sure, Sakit, if you want to address this now or if you want to wait. But it's basically what are the key differences between the cnVision line of products and, you know, ePMP, ePTP, or the 450 product line? I know you're kind of touching into that. Not sure if you want to address that now or just wait. I just thought I'd jump in.
No, since you brought it up, I can completely touch on that. So first and foremost, it really is in the software. So I'm going to say this very clearly. If today you are deploying video cameras and you're 100% confident and comfortable in deploying that with any of our current product lines, you don't need to understand, or you're not worried about using link planner, figuring out Fresnel zones, CINR, RSSI, and all of that. You're welcome to use that product line. What we did with cnVision is add some extra things. Not only did we simplify it, but we also integrated with video management system, and that is probably the biggest difference that you'll see. And in the demo, you'll see this. The user interface will look different, and also the ONVIF and the VMS integration. What that does, it allows you to use your video management system from the leading vendors to actually monitor some of the things that cnVision does, which you cannot do with the ePMP or 450 product line. So I think the demo will probably answer the question better so than what I said. So.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, Chinmay, take it away.
Thank you, Sakit. Okay, so before I log into the cnVision Hub, let me quickly show you the topology. So all you need to focus on is this Hub Flex R, which is one of our hubs connecting two clients wirelessly. And then we have a bunch of cameras connecting on the Ethernet side of the client. Whereas on the Ethernet side of the hub, we have the PC on which we have Milestone video management system installed. So the idea here is, so we are nothing but a wireless wire or a wireless transparent bridge, which is helping you in transporting your data from the camera all the way back to the VMS, and of course in both the directions. But but on top of being just a simple plain wireless bridge, we are offering two more additional optional features, I should say. So one is ONVIF integration and another is VMS integration. So in ONVIF integration, what happens is all the cameras which are in the same broadcast domain or in the same network as the radios get detected or discovered on the web UI of the radios themselves. And then we can replay the video stream from the cameras on the radios, on the radio itself. So that's our ONVIF integration. And the second part of integration, which I'll be showing, is video management system integration, where radio related events are being sent from the radio to the VMS. So for example, if the wireless connectivity between the client and hub goes down, then hub sends an event to the VMS so that it can be displayed as an alarm. So okay, so let's log into this radio and see all this happening live. And of course, as I move forward, I will also be talking about the use cases, why this we have decided to do these extra integrations and how they can be useful. Okay, so this is the Hub Flex R, where right after logging in, what you see on the status page is instantaneous download and upload speeds. And right below that, you see all those cameras getting detected on the web UI of the radio itself. And so, and we can replay the video stream from one of the cameras by clicking this video stream button. So the credentials that I'm entering here are the ONVIF credentials, which may be same as the credentials that you use to log into the camera, or if some of the cameras like access cameras needs you to add an ONVIF profile, you would need to add ONVIF profile where you would configure these credentials. So yep, so as you can see, the live stream of one of the cameras sitting by the window in our office.
So we're actually replaying the stream from the camera right here in the hub or the client, whichever you choose. And what's nice about this is that really look at this as a troubleshooting step, because there are scenarios that, you know, when a camera feed is out at the VMS, the first reaction is send somebody out there to look at it from a hardware perspective. If there's a networking issue or maybe a fat-fingered password at the VMS when you added the camera, this gives you another data point. So, all right, let me at least get up to my hub and client, the backhaul side. Can the backhaul see the camera? Is the video feed still coming through okay? So that kind of gives you that added step to just troubleshoot. And needless to say, things like the on-whiff reboot and all of that is also a plus.
Yep.
Chinmay.
Okay, so yep, so that's our on-whiff integration. So with that, let's move to the next integration, which is video management systems integration. So for that, you need to choose which video management system you are using. So currently we support Network Optics, Milestone, Genetic, WiseNet, Avigilon, Axis.
Let me give a little context here as well. So the idea behind the VMS integration is, from a security network perspective, cameras are obviously your endpoints, but ultimately the video management system is where all this comes together. Whether you're watching the feeds, whether there's an NVR associated with it, or you're running analytics on top of the video footage you're capturing. So we look at video management system as the single pane of glass as well as the heart of the system. So if your backhauls are essentially just dumb wires, not able to provide any types of information to your video management system, something goes wrong, you log into each UI, you troubleshoot, or you replace the backhaul. So what we've done is we've created a API of sorts so that we can interface with video management systems. The good news is video management systems and the companies that support them, it is in their best interest to have an ecosystem of products that can talk to them. So we leverage that ecosystem, and there's some leveraging, some code development, some work on our side to allow us to integrate. And that integration allows us to send information, which you'll see here shortly, create a custom tile, and provide video footage and things like that. If you go to the drop-down menu, Chinmay, we've got quite a few covered here. You see NX Witness, Milestone, obviously owned by Canon, Genetech, WiseNet is Hanwha, the Korean company. Avigilon, obviously, is purchased by Motorola, and I think they're a Canadian, or was a Canadian company. Axis, DW Spectrum is another company that does a lot of analog stuff and based out of South Korea, and Digifort is a Brazilian company. So we've got an international presence, but most of the leading vendors are covered here. If you have a video management system that you'd like us to integrate or look into, we're happy to explore that as well.
Actually, Sakid, sorry to butt in. Yeah, there's a question actually directly related to this. When you guys are going to explore somebody who isn't on that list, is there any specific parameters or minimum requirements that you guys need to have to potentially integrate them in, or?
The short answer is, as you can see from the list, we built enough of a flexible architecture that 9 out of 10 times we're able to integrate pretty easily. Most of it is a little bit more about understanding how things are implemented as opposed to custom requirements. So we're pretty flexible in how we're able to spin that up.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Chinmay, sorry, go ahead. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, no worries. So for this demo, we are going to be choosing Milestone, and this is the IP address where the Milestone server is running, the port on which the events server is listening, and the credentials. So with all this configured, now the radio is ready to send events to Milestone. But you also need to do some configuration on Milestone VMS. So first thing you need to do is in options, you enable analytics event and configure which port you want it to listen on. So it's 9090, that's why the port number 9090 on the radio. And next thing you got to do is add a radio which is going to consume one license, just same as the license consumed by the camera. And that story is different for different video management systems. So VMSs like Genetech and Milestone, there is some licensing and fees associated, whereas WiseNet Wave, Network Optics, Axis Camera Station, Avigilon, they offer this integration for free, and you do not need any licensing. So moving on, first thing is you need to add the device. Second thing, you need to add the analytics event to the VMS, and those So the events supported by us can be seen in our user guide. If you go to events and alarms, these are all the alarms that we support, out of which I believe two of the most important are station drop and station registration, or client drop or client registration, which I have added in the events. And last thing you need to do is link those alarms to link those events to alarms. So with all this configured, now the VMS is ready to receive the events sent by the radio. So what I'm going to do here for the demo is get into the Milestone X Protect Smart Client Alarm Manager and try to trigger an alarm manually. So what I'm going to do is go to the radio monitor wireless, where we see those two clients connected wirelessly, and deregister one of the clients so that the wireless connectivity between the client and hub goes down, and you just see the new event called station drop. And if you click on this message, it shows you the reason being operator initiated disconnect of this particular client with this MAC address. So this message tells you that, hey, my client which was connected to the hub has been dropped. So that's an alarm which was triggered by the radio, which is being seen on Xprotect Smart Client for Milestone. So the second part of our integration is where you see this VMS preview link, using which the radio sends some of the live statistics to the VMS. So all you need to do is copy this link and again go to whichever VMS you are using and add it as an HTML page. So for Milestone, what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna delete and add it again so that you know how to do it. So all you need to do is drag and drop this HTML page and paste the link to see radio sending some of the statistics that we felt are essential, like its name, instantaneous download, upload throughput, IP address, Ethernet negotiation statistics, and system uptime, etc., etc. So just like the tile you see for the camera, now you see the tile for the radio sending some of the live statistics to the video management system as well. And of course, the use case of it, as Sakit mentioned, uh, again, the same example, if you lose the video stream from one of the cameras or to the VMS, but you also received a notification from the radio saying, hey, client deregistered or client disconnected. So now you would know the reason why you lost the video feed to the camera, because the client to which the camera is connected lost the wireless connectivity to the hub. So yep, so that's it about VMS integration and OnWIF integration. So with that, if there are there any questions, Corey? Or I can move forward and show the planning tool, which is the cnVision
Looks
companion.
like, yeah, looks like we're good for now. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, just feel free to pop them in the chat window, but I'll let you continue on.
Okay, thank you. So this is the tool which we call cnVision Companion, which of course you can download it for free from our support site, and that helps you planning. So if I go to the planning, you see this plus button where you can add the devices like hubs and clients. What I'm going to do is import the project which I have already created. So in this, I have added a hub and then two clients connecting to it, client 0, client 1, and of course you can change the names. So let's see the hub configuration. So if I go in the hub configuration, I can choose from which countries the radios are operating in, which device I'm using as a hub, interference level. So to make it easy, we have simply created 5 levels of interference and channel bandwidth, as well as device lat long. So device lat long, of course, is optional. In the client configuration, of course, you need to choose which device you are using as a client, it is connecting to which hub, and device lat long, or instead of lat long, you can enter the distance to the hub manually as well. And the beauty of this tool, what I think, is the capability to add the camera. So in camera configuration, we are expecting these three variables: resolution, compression, and frames per second. So in resolution, you have an option to choose all the way from QVGA all the way up to 8K. In compression, we have different variants of H264, H265, MPEG4, and JPEG, MJPEG, and frames per second. So based on these three variables, when you hit the save button, you'll be able to see the throughput required by the camera. So these two cameras total of something around 19 Mbps connecting to client 1. The other client just has one camera using 5 Mbps. So total of something around 24 Mbps. And using this hub and two clients at these distances, your total maximum uplink throughput is somewhere around 112 Mbps. So out of which 24 is being used, so your link utilization is 22%. So this tool is an answer to the classic question is, hey, how many clients can we connect to the hub, or how many cameras can I connect to the clients, or how many cameras in total can I add? So you can add as many cameras and clients as you want till your utilization goes close to 100%, maybe something like 90%. You would want to keep that 10% buffer just in case you want to change any configuration on the camera. So yep, I believe that's it. That's all from my side about the cnVision companion tool to help you plan your CCTV network.
Thanks, Chinmay. So you've got the demos covered. Cody, before we hand it back to you guys, just another comment that Jack reminded me of is that we do have the cnVision SI program. The SI program brings you under the umbrella of the Security Integration Partner Program. You qualify for the discounts that you normally would not see as a regular partner. So that's one of the things. And Jack, as our global cnVision sales lead, he will nurture you, and he will build a relationship with you with regular updates and things like that. So joining that program is absolutely beneficial for you. Last but not least, we do have an NFR, not for resale program, demo program, up to 70% off of one of these kits, whether you want to do a point-to-point or point-to-multipoint. Great way to invest very little money to get your hands on some product to try it out. And to emphasize again, we're happy to help you with pre-design and planning as well as follow-on stuff. Great. Sorry, there is a question. Could cnVision components and cameras hub and powered? Sorry, I think I saw the question pop up, but it disappeared. Cody, are you able to repeat the question?
Yeah, I got it here. So could cnVision components and cameras be hub and powered in a compact unit such as the CMM Micro?
Yeah, CMM Micro supports 30 volts. So yes, you're able to use CMM Micro to provide power to these devices, correct?
Okay, perfect. So we are caught up on the questions. And I know you had mentioned, support for Maestro, CN Maestro, and I'm thinking a lot of our attendees are going to be pretty familiar with CN Maestro. Is there, can you just elaborate on kind of what we're looking at on a time frame and what feature sets will be available from the get-go, and then if there's anything that might be just delayed a little bit just to kind of get everybody up to speed on that?
So I should elaborate on our objective originally, and I'll say this now very clearly. So number one, when we created the cnVision product line, our target was to go after system integrators that today are not quite familiar with wireless, or if they do know wireless, they've never considered Cambium, right? This is a message for the audience that joined here as well as MBSI Wave. So with that in mind, what we said was, look, let's make this stuff easy. Let's add the support of the cnVision stuff into the video management system, at least from an alarm and statistics perspective, because the likelihood of having a multi-network point-to-multipoint setup that's elaborate with numerous hubs and clients in a video system is not that high. So the value of CN Maestro, or the complications or the challenges of CN Maestro, does not apply as well. That was how we got started. Having said that, as we moved forward, we realized that a lot of our partner community are able to use cnVision, position it as a differentiated platform, and win RFPs and bids when somebody else may be coming in with a ubiquity or a fluid mesh or something like that. And that's another important point to highlight, that these feature set, whether you find it super useful or not, you should also look at it as an option or a tool to use to win RFPs and bids when it comes to competitive environments. Long story short, we realize that cnMaestro is something people are asking for. Therefore, we will be adding the full-fledged cnMaestro support. When cnMaestro discovers cnVision, they will show up as cnVision hub and client. And from that point on, you treat it and you plan it just like you would do any of our fixed wireless networks. There will not be any type of on-wave camera discovery or anything like that on cnMaestro. That stuff we will leave to the video management systems.
Perfect. That was a good breakdown. Do you guys, anything else to cover before we segue into our question, or? Thinking no, don't have any more questions from the audience. All right. Nothing else on your end, Sakid, Chinmay?
No, I think this was good. Thank you very much. And I realize that, as you expand, as the audience starts looking at security as a space, hopefully there will be more opportunities to help you guys build into this space.
100%. And, Sakid, you had touched on, the support. Jack is kind of the boots on the ground, specifically with the cnVision product line, and he will give any partner or prospect, whether existing or new, to Cambium overall. Jack has been fantastic at supporting the partners, supporting the customer base. So we do appreciate that. Oh, we have another question here. Okay, is Cambium integrated with a LPR camera provider?
You're gonna hate me for it, but I can't remember what LPR stands for.
I'm not sure either. I'll just, Rodney, would you mind just clarifying? License plate recognition.
Sorry, should have known that. So yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. So LPR functionality, really, that's more software. So it's either the camera software that's embedded that does that, or post-processing analytics software that will look at your NVR recording and tell you license plate stuff. Typically, it's the camera because it's the edge analytics. Absolutely transparent to us. Whether a camera that does support LPR, doesn't matter. We will take that traffic and backhaul it for you day and night, no issues.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to give everybody a few seconds just to open up that chat window. So we do have our skill testing question here for our $100 NHL Shop gift card. Again, you have to be in Canada to be eligible. So I'll just give everybody a few seconds, just open up that chat window. It is first come, first serve. So gotta get our keyboard warriors ready to rock and roll. All right. So list at least one difference between cnVision and standard Wi-Fi systems in terms of CCTV wireless backhaul. I know Sakid had covered this a couple of times. Just let some feedback come in here. All right.
A couple of shots at it.
Got a couple of shots there. All right, Kyle, you are our lucky winner. So Kyle, Nicole will be in touch with you to get that gift card facilitated. Also, any questions, comments regarding the cnVision platform or CCTV separately, or Cambium as a whole, feel free to reach out to ourselves, Jack, your sales rep here at MBSI Wave. We're all happy to help out. So just one more session that we have coming up that I just want to remind everybody of or inform you. So our last goal, we'll call it, of our Hat Trick series is coming up in 3 weeks, I believe, September 22nd, and that is going to be covering the very in high demand 60 gigahertz platform that Cambium is releasing with the new Teragraph chipset. So if you are interested in joining that session, please reach out to your sales rep here at MBSI Wave, or you can reach out to marketing@mbsiwave.com, and we'll make sure to register you there. Again, thank you, Team Cambium, cnVision. Really appreciate Saki, Chinmay, Jack. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Our attendees, thank you all so much for joining today. We appreciate your time as always. Any questions, comments, please just reach out to your sales rep at MBSI Wave, and we're happy to help out. So with that, we will part, and have a good rest of your week, everyone.